What's going on, guys? It's November 29th, and here are my NBA picks for today's games. Please be sure to interact with the video somehow. It can be a like or a comment or subscribe. These things help the video get pushed out to a broader audience. The first matchup is the Celtics versus the Timberwolves, and Minnesota is favored by about 7 points at home. A couple things to note about this game is the fact that Boston's defense has been really good this season. They're number 2 in the league, letting teams score just 110 points per game on average. They're also forcing opponents to shoot a pretty bad 43% from the field, which is also top 3 in the NBA. Even without Jason Tatum, Boston has been grinding out close games, going 6-2 against the spread when they score over 114 points. For Minnesota, they've dropped 3 straight games and they've been struggling to close. Whenever they're favored by 7 or more points, they're only 4-5 against the spread. And yes, Minnesota's offense is good, but again, Boston is playing really good defense, and Minnesota produces almost 15 turnovers a game, which I'm sure Boston will use to get easy buckets. I think this will be a gritty, low-scoring battle, and honestly it should go under the projected total amount, but I also think that the Celtics will keep it close. Even if the Timberwolves win the game, I can see the Celtics covering the spread, so that's my pick for game number 1. Game 2 is the Raptors versus the Hornets, and the Raptors are doing really well right now, on a 9-game win streak, and they're scoring almost 120 points per night while holding teams to just 112. This offensive output and effective defense ratio is one of the best in the league, and today they're going up against the Hornets team that's 5-14, and they also give up more than 120 points in almost every game. The Raptors have the better stars as well in this matchup. They have Ingram and Barnes and Quickley, all of whom are healthy by the way, and they can also run the fast break better than anyone. And this matches up perfectly against Charlotte's awful defense. Even though the Raptors are missing RJ Barrett, the gap between these two teams is huge right now, so I expect the Raptors to pull away in a comfortable manner, so for this game I'll go with the Raptors to cover the spread. The next game is the Bulls versus the Pacers, and I'm seeing the spread listed for the Bulls being somewhere between a -2 and a -4. I think that's a pretty low spread, considering the fact that the Pacers are one of the worst teams in the league right now, and they're also missing Tyrese Halliburton and a bunch of other key guys. On the other hand, Chicago is healthy, dropping 120 plus points every single night, with Giddey, Kobe White, Vucevic all contributing, and they just put up 116 points even in a loss last night. Both of these teams are on a second night of a back-to-back, but the deeper, more talented Bulls will handle the tired legs better than a broken Indiana squad, so expect the Chicago Bulls to win and cover the spread pretty easily. Next up is the Heat versus the Pistons. Miami is red hot right now, with 6 straight wins, and they're playing at home where they rarely lose. They just got Tyler Hero back too, which is a huge boost to their depth. And I know that Detroit has been the surprise team of the year. They've definitely proven themselves, but they're coming off of 2 straight losses. Miami's elite defense is built to shut down exactly what Detroit wants to do, which is attack the paint and get as many free throws as possible. Everything here lines up well for the Heat, so pick number 4 is Miami Heat moneyline. Game 5 is the Nets versus the Bucks, and the spread is a little tricky for this game. I can think of reasons why both teams might cover the spread, so I would rather look at the over-under instead. And for both of these teams, neither play any defense. The Bucks give up 120 points or so on average. The Nets are sitting around the same number too. Since Giannis is back healthy, Milwaukee can easily score on the top end of that range. Even a struggling Brooklyn offense with Michael Porter Jr. and some young, inexperienced scorers should have no trouble dropping at least 110 to 115 points this game. And put it all together, and the over looks really good. The over right now is just 224 points, and I'm expecting the actual score to be above the 230 point mark, so I'm going with the over on this one. Up next is the Warriors versus Pelicans, and let's just say that the Pelicans are a complete mess right now. They're 3-16, they're basically missing their entire starting lineup, and they have one of the worst defenses in the league, giving up 122 points per night. And Golden State loves to go all out against bad teams. They're scoring well, and when these two teams play, it turns into a shootout with garbage time buckets. I'm expecting a higher scoring game, and I'm expecting the Warriors to win by a big margin. So I'm going with the Warriors covering the spread and total score going over 223. The next game is the Nuggets versus the Suns. Right off the bat, it's worth noting that the Suns don't have anyone who can slow down Nikola Jokic, and that's especially the case if their rim protector Mark Williams is either gassed or when he's off the court. The Suns are missing a few pieces tonight too, Grayson Allen, Jalen Green, and a few others. Yes, Devin Booker will be playing, but it might not be enough for this Nuggets squad. The spread for this game is pretty low, somewhere between 2 and 4 points, so I'm taking the Nuggets to cover in this one. In the last game today, both the Mavericks and Clippers are playing beat-up basketball. The Clippers are given a 6.5 to 7 point spread to win tonight, and I think that's a pretty big mistake. They're the worst spread covering team right now. They just lost at home to a depleted Grizzlies squad, and 2 weeks ago, they barely beat the same injured Dallas team in overtime. This game will be close, and the Mavericks might even end up winning this one. I'm taking the Mavericks to cover the spread. Best of luck to all of you who are betting on anything tonight, and I'll see you all in the next one. Also, just for fun, I'll let the rest of this video play out so you could watch my somewhat mediocre PS5 gameplay, but I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.